Okay, thank you.
The resolve of a beautiful woman. When he was a hot-blooded youth of 18, the samurai Endo Morito became fascinated with a woman of remarkable beauty. He tracked down her identity and found to his dismay that she was Kesa, the wife of Minamoto Wataru, his relative and palace guard. He was distressed to learn this, but his love only grew stronger. Finally, unable to contain himself, he went to the girl's mother and begged her to let him have Kesa, adding, I fully realize the impossibility of this request, but if it is not granted, I will have no choice but to kill all who stand in my way. Not knowing what to do at this reckless declaration of his love, Kesa's mother summoned her daughter and told her everything. Kesa was shocked and saddened, but at last she came to a decision. Mother, don't worry. It's too bad for my husband, but I choose Morito. Soon after that, she went to see Morito to tell him her decision, but she appeared downcast. Is something wrong, dearest? He asked. I am happy to be loved by you, but the thought of my husband tortures me. If only he weren't alive. I understand. Let me take care of it. Nothing could make me happier. After coming to this understanding with Kesa, Morito sneaked into Wataru's bedroom one night and beheaded him as he lay sleeping. Exulting that at last the beautiful Kesa was his alone, he held up the severed head in the moonlight, only to see that it was the head of the woman he loved more than life itself. He went into despair, threw himself on the ground in agony of regret, and in the end renounced the world and became a monk. The eminent monk Ongaku was none other than he. After Kesa's death, in her letter box, they found a note declaring her real love for her husband. The beauty of the century protected her virtue with her life and prevented two men from stumbling into great darkness. Yeah, so the story is such a tragic story about our passions, our blind passions. In the case of this story, it's desire, the desire that comes from wanting love and needing love, and how it can completely blind us to the reality of life. Here, one man who had power was able to flex his power in order to get what he wants, but in the end, not realizing that his actions would bring about such great harm um, to the people that he actually loved and to himself, he went ahead and acted on his desires. And in the end, the short term gain that he sought, which was the love of Casa, um, ended up being the end of her and also the end of his desire and his life of power as he renounced everything to become a monk. I think the story highlights the importance of understanding our passions and to act on them, but with great caution. Um, how this situation could have been resolved is difficult to say, but certainly um, Endo Morito had tremendous pride, and that pride stood in his way um, to perhaps have a deep platonic friendship with Kessa. Um, who knows? But acting on his desires in such a blind way ended his love and ended Kessa's life. Kessa, on her side, saw the terrible nature of Endo's desires and fulfilling her desire for the love of her husband and to protect her husband, sacrificed herself. She protected her virtue as a wife by defending her husband, but at the cost of her life. And as it says in the end, she prevented two men from stumbling into great darkness. Although the darkness that they found by acting on their desires is also a great darkness. But a greater darkness still um, perhaps awaited them had she not taken the route of protecting them both by her sacrifice. So our passions are so strong, and our knowledge, our wisdom is very weak. We prefer the short term gain and not look at the big picture and see what can await us if we take a different course of action. If we search for moderation, if we search for a middle way rather than taking the approach of winner take all, in many cases, like in this story, the winner took nothing. Um, so, yeah, I think that's what we can learn from the story today.
Okay, thank you so much, Rick, for reading and explaining the story for us. A wonderful message and a caution to all of us about the intensity of blind passions. Master Shiran teaches we are all inflamed with passions which rage within us. When I found these words in the teachings of Master Shiran, I felt already as if I found my answers. Yeah, stumbling into great darkness. So, people who become aware of this great darkness and do something about it by pursuing the Dharma or the light, I cannot imagine any greater state of happiness than that. So, we are very grateful to have the Sangha practicing together, going forward towards the light together. So, today is Monday, 8 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to have the Right View Lab. And yeah, hope to see you all there. Okay, bye.